Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. My name is Ted, and today we're playing the Boros Blink Combo. And this looks like a phenomenal hand. Yeah, I like this hand a lot. I will keep. Looks like our opponent also will keep. Let me just open up the graveyard here for you, just in case our opponent's playing something to do with the graveyard. Retribution of the Ancients. Remove X/1/1 counters from creatures you control. Creature gets... Okay. So maybe we're playing against some kind of counter deck. Well, it kind of looks like that anyways. Alright, it is our turn. We draw a Croon Striker, and we're going to lead off on a Soul Warden. And we'll pass the turn back to our opponent. Our opponent plays a Forest, and then drops a Strangleroot Geist. Okay, so that is haste. That's something we gotta look out for. Also Undying, something to mention. And they're gonna swing in with the Strangleroot, and we're gonna take 2. We're gonna start our turn by playing a Genesis Chamber, which I'm not exactly sure should be a good idea against our opponent's deck right now, because they're going to be dropping, it looks like, a lot of creatures, but we'll find out exactly how many that is. He's hoping for us to kill the Strangleroot, so that way he can remove an X1 or remove a 1/1 counter from 1 black and give a -1/-1 counter to our Warden. Our opponent plays an Overgrown Tomb, tapped. Okay. And they play another Strangleroot Geist. And this time they're going to get a creature token. Which, I mean, it's okay because our real plan is to have the Ajani's Pridemate get huge. Hopefully. And here comes a big hit. Another Genesis Chamber. That's pretty cool. So, do we get greedy and play the Genesis Chamber and then play a big Pridemate? I think that's what we're going to do. Hopefully they don't draw removal for the Warden. And we'll pass holding Bolt. And our opponent's going to Inquisition. Ouch. Well, there goes our Pridemate. Let's keep the Bolt in hand, hoping that they'll choose that, but the Pridemate's certainly gone. Yep, and there goes the Pridemate. Exactly as expected. Okay, so our opponent's going to move to combat, and I think I'm just going to save the Bolt. Maybe it's best to use it on their face. I'm not exactly sure in this scenario. You know what? Yeah, let's Bolt their face, just because we can. I feel like we're not really going to use it on anything else. So we're going to take 5. Our opponent chooses Butcher Ghoul. Okay, so we're going to gain a life, and they're going to get 2 tokens. I feel like Genesis Chamber is definitely going to be sided out. We were really hoping for that Pridemate to stick around. Alright, so we should lead on Impact Tremors and then play a Soul's Attendant. Good thing about this deck is it's super resilient. I mean, our opponents can beat us over and over again, but we have so much life gain. Our opponent's gotta be so tilted that we just keep gaining so much life. Your turn, opponent. What can you do besides keep smashing the attack button? Okay, our opponent plays yet another Strangleroot Geist, getting some more tokens and gaining us some more life. We're up to 26 now, and here comes a big swing. Okay, so we're going to take it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we will take it down to 16. We draw another land, not exactly what we are hoping for, but we can play a Croon Striker, get us some more creatures, do some more damage, gain us some life. And I think we should play the Mountain, just in case we draw another land next turn. And do we bother swinging in? I don't think so, not yet. We're just kind of stalling the game until we can get the opponent into a position where they can't recover from. Okay, so our opponent plays a Woodland Cemetery. They have 2 cards in hand, and it looks like they're kind of thinking about what to do. Okay, our opponent is going to play a Geralth's Messenger. We're going to gain some life, he gets some tokens. And we are up to 28 life, down to 26 off the ability. Big swing. Oh, does not swing with his mirror token. It's really hoping that we're going to give him some counters so he can start using his enchantment. No such luck, man. Not today. Okay, so we have a Restoration Angel, which is fine. I think that we will cast it on our opponent's end step, or in reaction to something that they might do. So let's think about it this way. If they attack, and we decide to block some of the damage with our tokens, which is entirely an okay thing. Problem is they get counters on them. These 5 creatures right here. So if we block, we can prevent some damage, and when they go to remove the counters to target one of our Soul Sisters, which I'm almost positive they'll do, what we can do is, yeah, we can Restoration Angel to blink in and save our Soul Sister. So let's go to blocks, and we will stop 3 damage of it, and we'll block that. He's going to use the 1/1 counter to get rid of one of our Soul Sisters, or so he thinks. What is he doing? Going to destroy our enchantment. We'll lose the impact tremors, and we'll still try to save our Soul Sister with Restoration Angel. Okay, it comes back. So he's going to target my Soul's Attendant. I will flash in a Restoration Angel. Gain a bunch of life. Alright, up to 31 life after all that. And we draw a land. Well, I say we start getting in for 3 a turn. And we pass it to our opponent. Opponent, you are now on a 3-turn clock. Okay, let's see. Our opponent's swinging for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 19. We will take that and then finish the game. Barring our opponents holding a fog, I think we have this. Okay, let's move to combat. Okay, let's go to the sideboard. That went well. Our opponent's going wide. They don't really use the graveyard as a strategy. That enchantment was annoying. It looks to be like it might be a big part of their deck. I'm not exactly sure if it's worth sideboarding in against though. So I think, well, let's bring in some Boros Charms just to try to finish out the game a little quicker. They're probably sideboarding in some hate against our Genesis Chamber. I'm gonna bring out 2 of those. I don't feel like we get the most value out of it. Our opponent clearly had more tokens. It was the life gain that really got us out of that mess. So let's see how this goes. Alright, game 2. This is a very keepable hand. I like it. I like it a lot. We'll keep it. Our opponent probably boarded in some more removal. So we're going to play our Soul Warden and pass it to our opponent. Okay, so they start by playing a forest this turn. And it looks like they're going to play a Harsh Scrutiny. Target opponent reveals their hand, and you choose a creature card from it. Then we discard it, and they get to scry. They take the Berserker, that's fine. It stops us from gaining a whole bunch of creatures really soon. I'd probably, if I was them, yes, I would go with the Berserker. And they're going to play a Young Wolf, and we will gain life. Alright, we have another Lightning Berserker. Our opponent did not see that coming, I guarantee it. Let's play a Genesis Chamber and hope that our opponent doesn't get a lot more use out of it than we will. Okay, so they're going to take another Lightning Berserker as an exact replay from last turn. Except this turn they'll probably drop something like Strangleroot Geist and swing in for 3. But nope, they skip to combat. They're going to swing with their 1/1. And probably play something after combat, I'd assume. They did not. They passed the turn. Okay, so we'll play a Mountain, and we'll hold up Bolt, and we'll pass it to our opponent. Okay, they're going to play a Strangleroot Geist. And they will swing in for 3. Okay, we have another Soul Warden. Fantastic. And we'll pass the turn to our opponent. Glistening Oil. Enchanted creature has Infect. Okay. So we're going to bolt that, because we don't want to be put on a short leash like that. So we're going to gain a bunch of life. Our opponent will get another token. We'll avoid as much damage as we can. And we draw a Felidar Guardian. So we have a combo in our hand for infinite life. We need 1 more land. Come on, deck. So we're going to have to pass to our opponent. Okay, so they're going to play the Retribution of the Ancients. We saw that last game. For 1 black, he can remove a 1/1 counter. He's going to destroy our Soul Sisters. Probably just 1 this turn. It looks like he's only got 1 black mana available to him. He's going to try to get in for a lot of damage, and then he'll keep his counters. Actually, I'll get rid of the creature altogether and prevent the damage right now, because he's going to do it regardless. So yeah, he's going to attack me, see if I'm going to block it. If I didn't block, he'd just go ahead and destroy both of these regardless. That's why I'm just throwing it in front of there to prevent the damage right now. And he's removing the counter so he can get it back with Undying. I forgot that was a thing. Because it didn't have a 1/1 counter on it, it gets to come back. And he gets a token. So we finally drew our other land, and we will pass it to our opponent's turn. We can Restoration Angel it to block something. We have an infinite combo for an infinite amount of creatures. Next turn, we will go off. So it's best to end step this, because we don't want to walk into any traps or give him any more options than he thinks he already has. Okay, our opponent goes to combat, and they're going to swing with the crew. And we'll take our beats, and we will cast a Restoration Angel. Okay, so our opponent's playing the black counter spell against us. So we would like to pay the 5 life, actually, to counter this. I've never seen anyone actually run Dash Hopes. Alright, and it is our turn, and this should be where we win the game. Felidar Guardian. We're going to use it to blink our Restoration Angel. Always yes, always yield. Always yes, and always yield. Okay, let's see how fast I can do this. Alright, I think that's enough. What about you? And we will pass to our opponent's turn and see if they have a way to deal with it. Our opponent swings with everything. We'll throw some blockers in front of it. Just in case. Our opponent's going to try to get rid of some tokens that we have. It's really not going to be enough. Now keep in mind, I decided to stop at like 30-something tokens. I could have just said there was 10,000, 10,000 if this was paper. Okay, so they play an Overgrown Tomb tapped, and do they pass the turn? They pass. Are they going to let us get the combo kill? Most people scoop during the combo. Alright, let's move to combat. We'll attack with all. And we win the match. Thank you for watching Giant Monster Games. I'm Ted, and I'll see you in the next video.